How you been, bud? We're ready to review this thing. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well too.
You look wonderful.
Thank you, thank you. It's been a long day, but we got some new countertops today, so that's exciting.
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can download many more episodes at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com.
I sure know how to pick them, don't I? This movie has gotten a lot of buzz on the internet, so I thought, why not? Let's review a modern movie that just came out, right? Saltburn. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
Yeah, you sure do know how to pick them.
I know how to pick them.
I guess you and I have both been on a slow streak or hot streak, some sort of streak this year so far. And yeah, it's time. You know what? So I picked the few movies before that you hated were just because of the cult followings. Just because it seems like the people who like them really like them, and they talk about them, and they form their own little whatever groups and discussions about them. But the people that hate them, boy, do they hate them. And I feel like this is another such movie where if you love it, you love it, and if you hate it, you hate it.
Yeah, not me on this one. This one is a little different. This is not a Midsummer one where I'm just like, nope, I hate this. You're not going to change my mind. I'm actually something that's not my personality. I'm kind of great on this movie.
It was, well, again, the benefit and I guess consequence of going into these movies cold and blind is sometimes you're excited because of the twist at the end, like that's what it's supposed to give, is the emotion or the reaction that it's going for. But there are other times when you're just like, I did not see that coming at all.
Right, yeah, there. So, I mean, don't worry for everybody that's listening. Our schedule is going to get more standard as the year goes on, right? We do got some standard ones coming out, like Ghostbusters. That's coming out. We're going to see that in theaters, obviously.
Do we need to include more Disney stuff into our? Well, we did Little Mermaid.
Right, but I don't think there's anything that's new that came out as a new Disney movie.
More family stuff, because If is coming out this year with Ryan Reynolds. I think we're doing that probably maybe when it comes out. Well, whatever. We're talking about Saltburn.
We're talking about Saltburn. So I picked this movie out because, again, going to theaters are expensive. Eric's a brand new father, so going to the theater all the time is something that is not in our wheelhouse much. So I got to fill the schedule. This movie has gotten some buzz. It's an Amazon Prime movie, and don't know this director. Don't know anything about the movie. I saw glimpses of a trailer. It was like a YouTube short. Ironically, we're talking about it. So I didn't see the full trailer. I saw like the clips, you know what I mean, on YouTube, if you will. So I didn't know what the twist was at the end, which we'll talk about that probably in detail.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. But no, yeah. So I am very great with this movie. I neither hate or like this movie. I loathe. Is that a bit? Is that it? Loathe?
Yeah. I just came from seeing Wicked last weekend, so loathe is definitely a lot of movies. Hearing that word a lot lately. The director of this one is Emerald Fennell. She won an Oscar. Yeah, she did Promising. She also wrote this movie. She did Promising Young Woman. That was 2020. That won an Oscar.
Okay.
And I'm looking her up on IMDb. They don't credit her as a director in her personal page. They only have her as actor, writer, producer, which seems like they're missing out there a bit. I don't know if that's by choice or if that's something else. She's an actress as well, and she's done a bunch of other things. So she was in the Barbie movie. She was also in The Crown. She played Camilla in The Crown TV series.
Who was she in the Barbie movie?
She played Midge, the pregnant Barbie.
Oh, okay. Face is familiar. Okay, so the reason why I want to explain this real quick for the people that are listening. I had that reaction of she, because traditionally, stereotypically, this is not the kind of movie that a female would make. So since you have said she, it kind of brought me back to the director who did American Psycho, yet another a female director that would traditionally not make that kind of movie. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I hear you,
So
especially
I'm
because
shocked.
this
I'm shocked,
seems a
and that's interesting,
bit. Yeah, you would think that at
which
least
is
in this
great.
year, more unusual. You have kind of women directors who are doing a bit more. Uh, I guess I don't know. They're really standing out. A Promising Young Woman
Yeah,
was one such where again it was. I haven't seen it, but it has a pretty big cast. It won an award. It was nominated for a bunch of others. And looking at her resume, her everything, she's. I think she's really got a lot going forward. I'm excited to see
yeah.
what else she can do.
Me too,
She's
because
one
I
to
know it
watch.
is. Sorry, I had a cough there. All right, so I'm not gonna know the names. All right.
Okay.
So can I do this for the show? So I'm watching the movie on the laptop in my home office. Yesterday. Wife is in the living room watching TV, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was half paying attention. You know, I had a day yesterday.
Yes.
All right, so I'm half paying attention on my phone. One eye on the phone, one eye on the screen. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Getting
Excuse
through
me.
it.
So I'm not going to spoil the ending for my little thing, but I walk out. My wife goes, "How was it?" And I go, "Poor dude meets rich dude in college. Rich dude's like, hey, come to my house for the summer and we'll have fun. Poor dude may be gay with the rich dude. Rich dude may be gay as well. Don't know. Has a sibling who is bleeding and shenanigans ensue." And my wife's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's the movie."
You did a wonderful job explaining that there. All right, well, that's the show,
So
everyone.
who's the main dude? So I mean, like, but who is this guy? Because again, I was half paying attention. I did watch the movie, I swear to you. But what's the name of the character, the
Ol-
main guy?
Oliver Quick.
Oliver Twist. Gotcha.
Oliver,
So
sure.
yeah,
I'm not
so
gonna, I'm not
Oliver
going to correct you
Quick.
on that, here.
So he is a freshman, not going to Oxford, right? But it takes place in England.
Yes,
He's going to some college, right?
he's going to Oxford.
He is going to Oxford. Okay. And he meets, what's the rich kid's name?
Felix.
So Oliver meets Felix by happenstance, right? Because, okay, so what got my attention, right? So this is how it got my attention. We get into the crux of it. So I press play, one eye on phone, one eye on screen. And all of a sudden, they're in like this dining hall. Like Oliver is in this dining hall.
Yep.
And this guy, who I'm assuming was like his roommate or something, was just screamed, "Hey," or something crazy. And everybody kind of like looked like, what's going on? And then the guy talked normal again. What happened there?
Man, I think you would have gotten a lot more of this movie if you paid attention a bit.
Well,
So,
I paid attention halfway through. I'll
yes,
explain when I paid attention.
the start of this movie was basically showing that Oliver was out of place, that he is the the sore thumb, and he's really sticking out. Everyone else is going to Oxford because they are from a privileged family. He's there because of a scholarship. So
Okay.
he's there on a free ride where everyone else is just there to kind of party and mess around. When he
Okay.
goes into this dining hall, it's like your standard lunchroom thing for any school, right? You got to find your group, you got to find some friends there, and he finds an open seat. And the open seat that he finds is next to a guy named Michael, who's a math genius, and gives him a dose of reality, saying that, hey, I guess we're friends now because we have no other friends. And Oliver was kind of pointing out, like, well, it's the first day. And Hayes, like, look around you. Everyone here has friends, and it's now just me and you, bud. By the way, this guy
Is that what
Michael.
he yelled?
No, he yelled at because said he's a math genius, and he was asking Oliver to give him uh, a sum. Give me some numbers so I can do the math in the head. And Oliver's just like, well, I believe you. I don't need to give you all that. And the guy got very agitated and just kind of reacted and
Okay.
kind of just very off-putting there. This
Just
guy
be
was,
off-putting.
by the way, Ewan Mitchell. He played Aegon Targaryen in House of Dragons. I know you don't watch any of that,
No.
but it was a shift in the role because he plays, something. He
Right.
plays a long-haired, blonde wigged person. Anyway, but yeah, it's basically to show the class difference.
Now, see, like he doesn't come back that often, right? Because he comes back in some scenes, but then also Oliver goes sees like a therapist or something, right?
It's an instructor.
And he goes to see the instructor. I thought that something was going on in the movie because there was another dude with him.
So
This black kid was with him.
yeah. What's it? Fairly.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very much what I would imagine is just kind of a selected or honors class of a sort, like a literature. They were studying poetry or some sort of English or literature written word, and yeah, it was just a kind of a personal or a more in-depth class. It wasn't like a therapy session. It was a a class, whatever they were signed up for.
Okay, because the teacher got bored. Because I thought it was maybe a therapy or maybe a teacher. Because the teacher's like falling asleep in his chair and looking up at the clock as Oliver's reading.
Yeah,
And I was
teacher was
like,
very much distracted.
yeah, right. So how does Oliver meet Phoenix? Not on the bike
Felix,
trail. Felix.
like the cat.
Felix the cat. How does he meet him? He doesn't meet him on the bike trail at first. He just
Yes.
that's his first glimpse of him ever is the bike trail
No,
where he's
not Oliver's first glimpse. His first glimpse of him was probably in the courtyard where he just saw the crowd that Felix would have around him, and obviously why wouldn't he? He's a very tall, handsome, and probably most one of the more well-off students there at Oxford.
gotcha. Okay, so then when these two first meet is
On the bike
Felix
trail.
is riding a bike and riding his bike and he has a flat.
Yes.
And Oliver and him chit chat for a little bit, and then Oliver's just like, "You can take my bike."
Yeah, he was saying that he was on his way to just return some books, that wherever he was going was not of the utmost importance, whereas Felix was saying he's already 10 minutes late, and out of a kind gesture, Oliver was just like, well, just take my bike, I'll take yours, and we go to the same university, I'll just meet up with you.
Right. So now comes a year long, I would say a year long bromance.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like it takes place the whole semester, right? Not the whole semester, but the first year of college, right?
Yeah, their entire time there, it seemed very much like it's pretty much there, like they have a friendship.
Right. Right. Well, not they. Do they have a friendship? Is Felix gay?
No.
But Oliver is.
Oliver is when he needs to
Bi-curious.
be. No, I would say from what I after watching the movie, because you imply that the entire time, or the movie was put. I think that he is when he needs to be, and if you, the viewer, want to think that Oliver is, then I think you're allowed to think that. There's no not enough argument in the movie to say otherwise. I do believe that Oliver did love Felix into a certain part, and uh, so yeah, I guess if you want to call him that, maybe it was just more of an infatuation of who the person is rather than it being some sort of sexual attraction.
What kind of love though? And this is a smart ass question, but also a real question. Is it a love that I would say two bros have each other? Or is it a love between a bro and a wife? Like what kind of love is Oliver thinking right now?
I think he's just kind of again enamored and infatuated with this person who's,
Lifestyle.
yeah, exactly, who's really, there are the elite few, right, who
Sure.
you would think that as someone who is of a lower status is just almost seething of jealousy, just be like, how the hell is this person so tall, so good looking, so rich, so just everything is able to just be easy for this person.
Hmm.
And he, Oliver, or someone else is the Frank Grimes, and they have to work and work and work, whereas everyone else has to, or this not everyone else, but this one person just has it easy.
Okay, okay,
So
okay,
maybe there's
okay. So
that
you're, okay.
infatuation with that, but at the same part, there's probably at a certain point, I'm sure that he has some sort of attraction. There has to be.
Right. Well, because Oliver changes, right? When we first meet him, I mean, he's kind of, I don't want to say mousy for a dude, but he's kind of mousy. His hair's kind of weird, like tousled a little bit. He doesn't look, he looks unsure of himself completely. And then he starts hanging out with Felix, and his hair's done a little bit, and he looks more frat boyish, but not really. The collar is popped now.
Yeah, he went
Like
from having a
he's
button down to kind of letting
right,
loose and wearing sweats.
right. He's starting to hang out more, and we don't see him really having sex with girls. Like it's not that typical movie where he's picking up Felix's scraps. Like Felix and him are buddies.
Y-
Felix likes this guy.
Yeah, yeah. He's just following around. He's the shadow and just basically following around Felix and doing everything that he can, absorbing as much of Felix's life as he can. And I
Right.
think in the middle of that, he became in love with him.
Okay, fair enough. Now, this all takes place within 30 minutes of the movie, right? Because the movie's like 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 20. So the bulk of the movie's after first year of college, right?
Right.
But also in this college years too. Now, I don't know if I'm piecing little things together because I start paying attention when he goes to Saltburn. Oliver does, but doesn't Oliver say something like his mom's like a drug addict or like something happened with his family? He came from nothing,
Yeah. He
right?
describes a life of squalor, that his dad is a drug dealer, somewhat maybe abusive, and his mom is just this addict of some sort, just uh, kind of a liability. Yeah, he's very much saying that he doesn't have a family or doesn't care to go back to a family.
Knowing what we know about Oliver at the end of the movie, do we believe that he actually is going to Oxford with a scholarship, or did he cheat his way or lie to get to where he is at Oxford?
I think that he did get into a scholarship. He is very intelligent. I think they did a very good job of that in the movie. They show in the poetry class of his the poetry that he writes, the references that he makes when he is at Saltburn to Sir James Canton, the obviously the patriarch or whatever, the owner of the house. His references to the history of the items around the house. I think he is a very, very intelligent person, and so he probably did get a scholarship. Also, because when he went into Oxford, it seemed that on first day one, everyone knew that he was the scholarship boy.
Gotcha. So when you go to Princeton or Yale, everybody knows you're the scholarship boy. So gotcha. It's the same thing with Oxford then.
I don't know how
I'm
they
assuming.
know.
I'm assuming. I'm
But
assuming.
rumors fly as they do.
Right. So now the bulk of the movie where I want to talk about is it's the end of the first year, right? And Felix and him are saying their goodbyes or what have you. And then Felix, being nice, says, "Hey, why don't you come stay with the family for the summer?"
Yeah,
Right?
he has some sympathy, thinking that Oliver, his dad had just died, and he doesn't want to go back to a messy house. There again, Oliver does a very good job of painting this picture.
Mm-hmm.
One such scene was when he was hanging out with Felix in Felix's dorm or room, and he starts cleaning up, saying, "You got to clean up, you got to clean up, you got to clean up." And it was a bit of a kind of a heated thing match there a little bit, where Felix is just like, "Stop! I'm able to clean up. I'm a grown person here. I can do that." And it was later revealed that it was a sign of trauma for Oliver because his mom would always be comatose in the bed or high or whatever the hell. His dad was nowhere to be found, and so the whole house that he lived in was meant to be filthy, and so he always has to clean up, kind of a thing. And so he's really doing a good job of painting this picture, this portrayal of who we think Oliver is.
Very nice. By the way, we've all have either known and disliked or known and liked of Felix in our young college years, right? There was a scene in the movie that hit home with me, right? There's some dude that's in the background that has a couple lines that has a girl on his lap or sitting right next to him.
Yeah.
Just some random guy, and he's in the cameras doing the scenes are going. And all of a sudden, Felix just like sits up and like just goes to the girl. She grabs his hand and he walks away. And the guy's like, "I've been working on her for an hour."
Yeah.
You and I and a lot of people listening to this episode in dude world have all been that dude. We're like, what?
I have known a few of those people. More
You
in
have
high
been.
school, in rather than it being in college, just because I think I've felt more of my or found more of my crowd in college. But yeah,
Sure.
in high school, it is the person where people want to be around with just because
Right.
they may not even be all that good looking, or they probably are, but it's just because they have the potential. They're
Right.
rich. They have the big house. That that's all it takes, and people are drawn to that.
What did Oliver say? So Oliver was coming to the dorm room, and there was a girl, a very nice looking girl, waiting for Felix. I guess he stood her up or something, so she went upstairs to have a shag. Haha, I was doing English speak, and
Oh,
he
you.
said, "Oh, they were making out or something," and then she asked a question, and then Oliver's like, "I don't think he's gonna care" or something, and that pissed her off. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think what he said was bad, or am I missing
No,
something?
no, no. So again, this is a detail that is very good in the storytelling, and I appreciated this. There was a moment, I think, when Oliver was, I don't know if he was being in grieving mode for his dad's death, air quotes there, and or for something else, and Felix had said, "Oh, well, let's go to the bar later, and I'll text you." And so Felix or Oliver said, "Okay," and he never got the text. He was waiting for the text, and he never got one. And so Oliver just was like, "All right, well, I'll go to the bar anyway." And sure enough, he sees Felix at the bar. He never got the text, so obviously Felix was just kind of standing him up and just like, "Ah, well, screw you guys, I'm gonna go to the bar anyway," type of thing. And Oliver, instead of him going to Felix and being like, "Hey, well, what the hell? I thought you said you were gonna text me when you go to the bar." He just leaves to go back to his dorm, and he
Mhm.
sees, I believe her name's Annabelle, who also in the same position of Oliver got stood up as well too. Probably was made to believe that she was going to hang out with Felix, and Felix was like, "Oh, I'll text you," and then never did.
Mhm.
So, knowing that Oliver is a friend of Felix's, she goes upstairs to try to get a little hanky panky with some Oliver. And while they're getting it on, she asks, "Is like, do you think this will make Felix jealous?"
Oh,
So,
jealous, yeah.
so obviously the whole reason why she's hooking up with Oliver is just to make Felix jealous. And then Oliver basically says the only truthful thing in the movie, right? Is that,
Right,
"Oh, honestly, I don't think it's even going to register with this guy." And he's very much right. Felix could give two cares less, right?
right. So this is where Oliver fails because if Jordan was in this situation, he'd be like, "Oh, he's so jealous. Oh, he's so jealous, baby." You got to do that, right? So anyway, let's go back to Saltburn with this, where he gets invited to go to Saltburn, and big mansion, butlers, maids, the whole nine, right? We meet mother, father, daughter, right? That's the group, right? But then also there's these characters. Now again, maybe I had a stroke during this time, but there was some other guests there that are not family, right? Like wasn't that his roommate or something was there too, hanging out all the time?
So fairly, the his schoolmate, if you want to call him that, is the cousin of Felix.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
So yeah, and then there was the one blonde girl who is the Felix's sister, I
Right,
believe. And
right.
then there was Carrie Mulligan, who was, I want to say, the friend of the family, Rosamund Pike's friend, uh,
Okay.
Lisbeth, her friend who was kind of just staying for a little bit, who was seemed like overstayed her welcome. It really does show in this part, and then as they make reference to, this is not the first time that Felix has invited a friend over to stay for the summer as well either,
Right.
that the family is a bit, I don't know, they're not like philanthropists, but they're nice. They extend kind of this hand, maybe, or maybe they're just showing how lonely they are, and that they want to bring in someone from the outside to kind of spice up the inner workings a bit more. That could be it too. I think Fairley made a comment about that, but yeah, they get tired of these people pretty quickly, or however long they just say, "Okay, well, you can leave now." But again, like, who would want to leave Saltburn?
Right. So I actually didn't know where this movie was going to go. Right. I'm thinking, okay, I've seen this movie before. Right. Good looking young
You've been
man.
saying that a lot for all these movies. We've been watching too many movies, man. If we're saying that for every movie we watch.
I know because we're the movie guys, right? I mean, but anyway, but like I've seen this movie before, right? So he arrives to Saltburn, everybody's nice, right? And I'm thinking, and boy, was I wrong. But I was like, okay, so the family's going to eventually become psychotic, and Oliver's going to be our hero. He's going to be our heroine. He's going to be the virgin that survives the massive, the hunt is on, dangerous game kind of
Okay.
movie. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking we're going at, right? Because we've seen that before, right? Young rich guy brings another person, whatever, to the house, and all of a sudden the rich family are crazy and they do crazy things, right? We've seen that. That's not where the movie goes, and I'm very happy that's not where the movie goes. That's where I'm kind of gray at, where I don't, when I either like or dislike this movie, I'm in the middle of it, where it's like, okay, so this is where we get to meet the entire family, and the family has their problems, right? The mom is sexually attracted to Oliver. No, the mom likes the attention that Oliver gives her.
she she
Right?
had a fantastic quote during that scene, by the way. I don't know if you remember where she admitted to being a lesbian,
Mm.
but then she switched back.
Yeah, she like dabbled, and he was like, but you have children or something like that. And he's yeah,
It was too wet for her. Men
yeah,
are delightfully dry, or something like that, is what she
something
said.
like. I've seen that woman before, the mom. I've seen this actress.
She was in I Care a Lot.
Was she the main woman in I Care a Lot?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I know her from.
Well, she's been in many other things as well too. She was in Die Another Day. She played
Oh
Miranda
yeah,
Frost.
yeah, she was. Yeah, she's terrible in that. Well, everybody's terrible.
But she's been in a lot. She's in Gone Girl. You remember that one?
Oh, that's right, man. She was the Gone Girl.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, okay. No wonder why this woman is familiar to me. She's one of those actors or actresses, no matter if it's male or female, for me, where I have seen the face, and for some reason, I ultimately respect them because I think I've seen their work and I liked it. You know what I mean?
She's a English actress, so they are
Yeah,
often very classically trained. She's good. I do.
yeah.
Yeah, I do very much enjoy Rosamund Pike. Again, I hated her and I Care a Lot, and if you're acting well enough to where I, the viewer, can hate you that well, you're doing something right.
Yeah, no, we gotta go back and watch that again one day.
I
Maybe our
will
reviews will
pass.
change. I know, yeah, I loved it. The dad. Do I be a jerk and say that the dad was a nothing of a character? I mean, again, the mom was a nothing of a character, really, kind of, right? Because they just let the kids do what they wanted to do, but the dad was just so in the background
I,
a
I
lot.
Yeah, Richard E. Grant is the character, or I mean, as the actor. Yeah, and you've seen him in a lot of things as well too, by the way, I'm
Right.
sure. But yeah, I think that's kind of goes to the point that it's showing that these rich people want for naught, that they are just in their own world. They're in their own bubble of I don't even want to say just narcissism.
Are they bad? I mean, because that's what I'm trying.
No,
That's where I'm leaving with the movie at during the credits. I'm like, were these rich people bad? And I don't think they were. They had flaws like any family would, but they're not the villains.
not at all. I would say that if anything, they're at times politely rude.
Sure.
But no, I don't see them to be an evil or bad family whatsoever. They just maybe are a bit disconnected
Right.
from reality at times. But no, I mean, Felix is a nice guy. Again, you might have.
Generally a nice guy.
Yeah, he's very thoughtful. What he did for Barry's birthday, or I'm sorry, Barry is the actor for Oliver's birthday, and hell, even inviting him to Saltburn. He's a same with the sister too. They're overall just nice people. The only person I think who people would perceive as maybe rude or the bad guy might be Fairley, but he's the only person that was quick to call Oliver out on his BS.
No, he was quickly, right? So Oliver, so the beginning of the episode, I said that we were introduced to Oliver as a kind of mousy kind of guy, right? His hair was not right and he had a button down. And then as the college year progressed, he had, the popped collar, if you will, and he was more of that lifestyle. He really adapts to this lifestyle quickly. His haircut's a little different. He has a swagger about him. He's starting to be in the shadows more. He rapes a guy. Who was that he was in bed with?
That was Fairley.
That was Fairly. Okay, because it was okay.
He had, again, at that part in the movie, Oliver has done a good job of really getting at each part of the family member individually.
Right.
And really trying to play to their weaknesses and vulnerabilities as well as to his strengths. I think he knew Fairley's was a bit, I don't know, gay, I guess, for the most part, and he called him out, just saying like, "Hey, why are you so mean to me? Why are you so always trying to get on my bad side?" And Fairley was just called him out. He's just like, "I don't trust you. I think you're just trying to take advantage of the family." And Oliver's just like, "Yeah, but that's what you're trying to do." But at the same part, Fairley's like, "Well, but I'm a part of the family."
Right. Yeah, I'm not you. But then correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because this is me. I mean, Oliver raped. Well, did he rape? No, he didn't.
It was
Because the scene is that the dude's sleeping, and Oliver, gets on top of him,
yeah.
and then a lot of facial expressions happens of enjoyment. So I'm like, do we just, I'm curious, but then nothing happens after. Like, I mean, there's no relationship. It was just like a one night fling, if you will.
Well, because after that, Fairley got kicked out of the house.
All right, so the scene that was a big scene that caught my attention, this happened after that scene.
Yeah, so the reason why Oliver, I think, had done that was not just to do a power move, but at the same part to, get him to, I guess pass out so that he could get access to his phone and set him up. As the next morning we hear a bit of a commotion from upstairs in the downstairs part that Fairley is being kicked out of the house by Sir James. I guess
Why was he kicked out of the house?
Because he was caught stealing an item and trying to email Sotheby's, an auction house, to sell that for some money. We had seen before, in scenes before, that Fairley had gone to his uncle to try to get some more money for the family.
Gotcha. So this was this perfect opportunity. This was an opportunity possibly for somebody to look guilty, but we don't know anything at that point, right? We think that this is what happens.
Well, at this point, at least for my part, as I'm watching it, things are starting to really add up, and not in a good way, where it's just like, oh, okay, well that's too much for it to not to be a coincidence.
Right. I need you to trust me on this next part. So I need you to trust me. I'm gonna be clean. The scene that people are talking about is the sister is, for some stupid reason. I actually think the reason this happens is stupid, but from a writing standpoint. But she's in a white see-through nightgown, like frolicking through the garden in the middle of the night for some reason. Or was she trying to seduce Oliver? Like, did she know Oliver was watching her? Like,
So we know from comments before that last year when Felix had invited a friend over, I forgot who the guy's name was that they mentioned, but that the friend ended up sleeping with the sister.
okay, so this is her thing.
After they found that out, they asked that person to leave because they felt it disrespectful, blah, 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 blah. It was kind of implied from the first moment that Oliver and the sister, geez, I need to find out her name.
So this was her power move, though.
That, yeah, for the most part.
Her power move was to sleep with Oliver to get him kicked out because it happened before.
At the same part, it could just be that maybe that she's just horny.
Right. So she's frolicking through.
Venetia? Is that her name?
Oh, I'm just gonna say the sister.
Yeah, that's fine.
So she's not frolicking. What I mean is that Oliver looks out the window and she's in this white see-through nightgown and she's just walking slowly, kind of looking up to the window to make sure that Oliver sees her. Oliver comes down just strutting his stuff, right? Full peacock feathers, he's there, right? And she's sitting on a bench, and he starts making her feel good. And she's just like, this is the bad time of month for me. And it made me pause the movie and do a deep breath when he says, it's okay. Thank God I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. And then he spreads the joy around.
Yep. Got his
How
Red
did you
Wings,
feel
huh?
about that? How'd you, now that wasn't Red Wings, but how'd you feel about that?
Well, I
That
guess
was
he
multiple
didn't.
Red Wings.
Yeah, we didn't see that act, but it looked like in the bathtub scene after, it looked like, well,
Joker.
yeah. Funny you say that because he's playing Joker, by the way, the actor in the new DCU. So he played it in the
So
Batman.
that's the actor
Yeah,
that played that was in the deleted scene?
Yeah, that's the same guy, Barry Cogan, whatever you want to call him.
Really? Because okay, he's playing Joker again in the new Batman, the sequel.
Yeah, so
That's that guy.
That's the guy. This is an actor, man, to look out for.
All
I really
I'm
think
smiling right now. Okay.
he's good. I liked him in
Yeah.
Banshees of Inisherin too. He was really good in that.
All right, I'm really smiling. Yeah. So why?
He was also
why
in Green Knight that we watched earlier.
Was he? He wasn't the main dude though.
No, Dev Patel? No, he was not Dev Patel. Do you remember when the Green Knight was walking into the battlefield, and there was like that thief guy who steals his sword?
Is that him?
Or the axe or whatever? Yes, that's the guy.
You know why I'm smiling is because this actor that we get in this movie, right, Oliver, the voice that he does for the Joker in the deleted scene for the Batman with Robert Pattinson is not the same voice. Like this guy is a hell of an actor.
Yeah, he's one to watch, man. I really do think that he's a good actor.
Why would the sister allow him to do these acts to him like this? Like that seems two girls, one cup territory. You know what I mean? Like, why?
It's a bit intense there.
What? No, it's not.
Listen, I understand this movie had a lot of bodily fluids. It did not have those bodily fluids.
I understand that, but it was. Why did she allow this?
I think that she just wanted some attention, I guess.
I guess. So then the next scene is when cousin dude gets asked to be removed, right? Because then Oliver comes after him. Not comes after him, but it like gets him out, right? That happens.
What after? Well, because after he hooks up with the sister, the cousin watched and then tells Felix about it.
Right.
Felix is very upset, and that's when we learn that because this has happened before last year.
Right. So then this is where does Felix get his revenge then by saying, "Hey, guess what? I found out your mom's not on drugs anymore. Let's go see her."
No, this is where Oliver comes to Felix and says, "What's wrong?" And then Felix is, like, "You know what's wrong." And then Oliver, we get to see he's already played the mom by flattering her. He's already played the sister now by doing the vampire, and now he's playing Felix by saying that, "Oh no, it's not me. I'm respecting you and your family here. Fairly, your cousin never liked me from the start, and he's just being that guy. He's just one that's just going around and trying to say things that aren't true." And that's when we get another encounter with Felix and Fairly saying that, like, in other parties and other encounters, that, like, you're the one that's stirring the pot here, buddy. Like, what's wrong with you? And we see that from the character. Like, that's who this person is someone who's bored, and that's why he is just kind of talking crap about everybody.
Right. He's
even though he's not, even though he's telling the truth.
Right, but but this is when though, towards this middle part, this is when Felix knows the truth about Oliver and takes him back home.
Yeah, I think Soon after this, yes.
Yeah, soon after this, he takes him back home, and Oliver's like pleading with him, no, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go, and Felix is like, no, I did research, man. Your mom's good, whatever. So we're going to go back home.
Yeah, I don't know
The-
if he knew that. I think
no.
Felix had just said that he got to his phone and got his mother's number and just said it's a birthday surprise.
Hmm.
And then going to the house really was the surprise.
What was the surprise? And he comes from a middle class blue collar family. Mom and dad are there, and he has siblings.
Yeah.
And his mom and dad were like, where have you been all summer? What is up? And Felix knows this guy's a POS.
He's just getting more and more because not only did Oliver lie to Felix and his family, but now he's finding out that Oliver has lied to his own family.
Is this a part of Oliver's plan, or is this, at this point, make up as you go?
Yeah, I would think that's a trait of like pathological liar, right? Where he's just going on. But at the same part, it just seems too well thought out to be not planned, right?
Well, okay, so is
To
this one of
distance
those?
from his family. I think the family part from his own family was not necessarily planned so much as it was just easier enough to get them out of the picture by feeding them some lines.
Right.
Whereas on the Saltburn side of that family, I feel like a lot of that was very calculated. Like there was a moment at the end of the movie when the sister said that, "Oh, my dad calls you the spider because you just look around in the corners and you dismiss yourself at appropriate times. You spin in your little web and really calling him out." And that's really what he's done the entire movie. He's observing, he's listening, he's gaining the facts, and he strikes when the opportunity presents itself.
He clearly does, because then Felix knows that he's a liar. So then we have, like, I don't know, like this end of the year bash party.
Oliver's birthday party. So
That was Oliver's birthday. All those people at the end.
yeah, because his Felix's mom, Elizabeth whatever her name is, said that oh, we'll have to throw you a party and we'll get 100, 200 people, kind of a thing. And it was all to that. And so obviously the day comes and Felix takes him to the family, finds out all the crap, and says, "Listen, our friendship is done. It's too late to cancel the party. It's obviously a big, grand affair, and it would be you can't disinvite or uninvite everybody else right now and just cancel everything. So we'll have this party, and then after you just go home."
Right. And this is where Oliver channels his inner Fallout Boy with the antlers for some reason on his head.
It's because they were doing a Midsummer Night's Dream theme.
That's what it was. That's why he had the wings and.
That's why
Right.
there was fairies and it was very,
Yeah.
very fanfare. Yeah, very.
Didn't you think of Fallout Boy with the antlers? Or was it just?
I am now.
It pretty much theft at that point. I mean, right. And nobody wants anything to do with Oliver.
Well, nobody knows Oliver,
Well,
which is kind of the thing too. And they even highlighted it in that birthday party when they were singing "Happy Birthday" to him, and he blew out the candle. And they're singing "Happy Birthday," and that part when they go "Happy Birthday, dear," and nobody knows his name.
Right.
And so there's that awkward silence when they're just like, "Oh, geez, we don't know who this person is." Happy birthday to you.
Right, right. And this is where Felix has nothing to do with it, and then he's getting jealous. And this is Felix then goes to the Shining Heads mage, right? And to have sex with a girl.
Yeah, well, this is it's also to take note that the entire time Oliver is not really enjoying his party as much as he's just kind of stalking Felix. Again, waiting for this right moment to strike. He catches Felix in the bathroom with Fairly, the cousin, and a few other people ripping some lines, and Felix really dismisses him, just like,
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you.
yeah. And then, Oliver is just kind of lurking again in the shadows, follows him into the hedge maze, and kind of does the final goodbye.
Right, let him finish, right? Because he's in mid action, and he's just like Felix. She's like, God, man, jeez, and,
Yeah,
right,
that's a buzzkill, huh?
right, and then they have the little spat, and the next day Oliver wakes up, and there's a blood curdling screaming. Now this movie has changed direction, right? Because I didn't expect this to happen. Felix is dead.
Yeah, that was my guess from the start, just because of how the movie opened with Oliver in a nicer outfit, kind of groomed a bit more, and saying that I loved him, speaking in past tense.
Right.
But I did not expect the rest of the movie.
No, I expect the rest of the scenes to happen the way they did. No, but and then the dead. Now the actor, like you said before, I've seen him multiple times, but the actor was really good, right? He was a dad that was not accepting the death. He was just like, oh, he's drunk or he's sick or let's move him. Let's get him in. Oh, he's cold. Let's get him a blanket. And it's just like, oh, that's interesting, right? And
Yeah,
then then they go
shocked.
inside, right? And then they bury him. We'll talk about that scene later. They bury him, but then they all are in the dining room, and the family is trying to keep it together. And then they shut the blinds, and it's all red, and they start screaming and going crazy for some reason. That was weird.
Yeah, it was a very high. It was a very tense scene,
Right? It was
and
tense, but I'm just like, what's going on?
well, yeah, because the sister was obviously just everyone's in denial, but the dad, it was just like, well, we don't know how what to do in this situation, and so instead of maybe grieving properly, they're just trying to go about their day, going about the beats that they would normally do in a
Hmm.
day, just to kind of, I don't know, play pretend, I guess, as they would. But yeah, they have to close the curtains and everything is red, and it's really just something that they cannot hide from. Yeah.
And the
Um,
sister's constantly pouring the wine and overfilling it, and
well,
then
by the way, a great scene right there, because as the cup tipped over, or you know what I mean, it's overflowing. So the
mhm.
situation, very much like the wine in the cup, has overflowed, and you gotta address it.
Yeah, this director knows what she's doing,
Yeah, oh yeah.
right?
There was a
And
lot of small little details. I had to look up this up after the movie, but there's a lot of small little details that were in the movie, a lot of foreshadowing that was done, a lot of background scenes,
mhm,
and yeah, I'm not anxious, or I'm sorry, I'm not eager to quick watch this movie again, but
mhm.
it is fun to read about all these little I don't want to call them Easter eggs, but I guess that's what they are.
Why? I know why. Just for the sake of the show, why at the funeral and everybody leaves? Why does Oliver have sex with the grave?
I think because he has to accept that he does love Felix, right?
No, man, that's the way I take it. Is the guy's gone. He's gone at this point. Any humanity left in Oliver at this point is completely gone. I think that was his way of saying, "I have effed you. I have beat you.
Ooh,
My plan is coming to fruition. Now here comes the next step." That's what I feel. What that scene was. Because paint the
I
picture
like
for
it.
people. You know what I mean? Like paint the picture for the people. Dude's buried. Felix is dead, and the ground is fresh. And Oliver gets naked and proceeds to hump the ground. And it's like, okay, this is happening. All right. His next victim is the sister's taking a bath, and this is a very tense scene. Right. The sister knows.
Yes.
The sister knows maybe that Oliver didn't kill him, but Oliver has a hand.
She put it together that,
Right.
listen, you came here and then suddenly all this weird stuff started to happen. You've known Felix, my brother, for what'd you say, like 6 months or something like that,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
things started to go wrong ever since then. And she really started to piece it together and basically just called him out.
Right. And then this is where they have a very interesting makeout scene.
Yeah.
And the next day, she did not want attention. She did the deed. She committed suicide in the bathtub. She went up instead of crossways. Right. Whew.
Yeah, Oliver got lucky with that one, that she actually did kill herself. But yeah, I think she again was probably bothered that this guy is. Oh, didn't she call him out because he was like trying to basically impersonate Felix, wearing his cologne, wearing his clothes.
Right. And she called him. I mean, like maybe I don't know if she thought that she killed him, but he's definitely the cause of things, right?
She's basically I don't know. She was just kind of just a wreck,
Right.
and she was just kind of saying piecing it together as much as she could.
Right. So then the next is she's dead, and then the father meets with Oliver in his study, and he just pulls out a checkbook, not literally off the bat, but he gets so frustrated. He pulls out a checkbook and he goes, "How much would it cost for you to go away?"
Yeah, I think he realized that it was a bit of a threat that his wife, Elspeth, geez, whatever her name is really taking a bit more of a shine to Oliver than she needs to be
Right, 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 right.
by really saying like, "Oh, you're not going home, or you're going to stay here, right? You're going to stay here," and really, again, maybe just the flattery that she was given before by him is again in this weird kind of I don't know trance this make believe state where there's maybe something that will give her some sort of I don't know not closure but an aid.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Right. And we don't see Oliver take the money. Do you think that he said some number and he took it?
Oh
Or
yeah.
do you think he just, right? So now we don't know the timeline, right? Because I went back and I rewound because she said, "Oh my God, Oliver." So we jump in time. We don't
We
know the
do.
time. Oh, we do know. I didn't see a time.
I'm piecing it together because when Oliver arrived first at Oxford, it said class of 2006.
Okay.
And then I believe the paper gave the death date of 2002.
Okay. All right. So it was a year later then.
That's no.
No, 2000 class of 2006, meaning that they would have graduated college in 2006.
That he was there, or maybe that this all happened in 2006, but then the dad died in 2002.
Okay.
That's not a year, Jordan.
Class of 2006.
Yep. And then the dad died in 2022.
Oh, 2020. I'm sorry. There's the 2002. I'm sorry.
Oh, if I was saying that, then
I'm
that's
sorry.
my
I'm
bad.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So you're saying that the movie happened in 2006, but the end of the movie happens in 2022.
Yeah, so it's like close
Okay.
to yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
I
15 some
misunderstood.
odd years later, yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. 02, 06. Okay. So it's
He went back
2022.
in time and killed the dad. Yes.
Right. It's years later, and he's randomly in a coffee shop, and the mom walks in to order herself a coffee, right? And people have masks. God, I should have known it was 2022. People had masks on besides the actors.
Yeah.
You notice that?
No, I
And
didn't actually, but I got another little detail there.
right. The Batista, whatever they called it.
A barista?
Barista. Anyway, she turns around. She's like, "Oh my God, Oliver!" And he's just like, "Hey." She's like, "Oh my God, you've grown up. You've changed, and you should come back to Saltburn. My husband's dead." And he's like, "All right, I'll come back to Saltburn." To where immediately he's talking to her on her deathbed. We find, okay, let's talk about her. He goes back to Saltburn and he poisons her.
Yeah, she is ill or becomes ill for some unknown reason. I don't know if he poisons her, but again, he's been there for I guess it says several months.
And because I was thinking of Killers of the Flower Moon, like he poisoned her.
Sure.
That's what my interpretation was.
It doesn't show that specifically, but you could just say that because of her age, that maybe she just I don't know.
Right. So this is where the confession hits, where he was. These are my words. Where he crawls up on the bed very sexually, and he's just like admitting everything, in the house, and we find out, that she signed the deed and everything over to him,
Yep.
right? And he said, in my words, that he has played this whole family since day one. That he popped the tire in Felix's bike, so they were destined to meet with each other. And he was the one that actually killed Felix. He gave Felix a poison bottle of wine or booze or whatever, and that's what killed him. And that he did not deliberately kill the sister, but he gave her the tools to kill herself. He gave her the razor blades, which we
Egged her
didn't
on a
see.
little bit, yeah.
Right. And the dad, we don't know, right? The dad probably died of old age. That was by happenstance, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And now the deed is his and the house is his. He played this family like a fool. So before we talk about the very last scene, why? Why did Oliver do this? Because he was bored? Because he's a psychopath? Like, I mean, did we just watch a movie where we followed the life of a psycho? Like, is this American Psycho but English Psycho?
So you had said before that you have seen this movie, and Sarah had made this comment, and many comments online had said that too, that this is very reflective of talented Mr. Ripley, and something of that where you have somebody, a con man, if you will, just trying to play the long game, a goal in mind, and had set everything up to where it would fall into place. So again, some parts where you have to be patient, whether it be the 15 some years where the man of the house had to pass, and where he has to hope for certain people to kill themselves or certain things to be found. Yeah, there's a lot into play, I think, and if all of it was intended, that's a mastermind. I think, though, at the same part, like a spider, he was just waiting for his opportunity and took it when it showed.
So the last thing in the movie is he wakes up, he's completely nude, and he is dancing to a very catchy, like I would say, disco song.
Very upbeat.
Right. And we see everything, and this dude is letting it out, figuratively and literally. This is his victory dance. This is the Joker going down the stairs moment. He has won.
Yep.
Saltburn is now his.
Yes.
This is what actually made me fall in love with the movie, to be honest with you. This this shot.
Go on.
The reason why I did is because, I mean, like I said, this is the Joker going down the stairs moment. This is where you are so far away from reality. Like, this guy's is dancing naked, maybe to a song, maybe not to a song. We don't know the reality. Sniffing cocaine, right? And then we didn't talk about this in the movie at all in our review. But Felix would say, and his family, when there's a death of a family member, they would write their name on a rock and throw it in this creek or a pond or whatever.
Yeah.
And last shot of the movie is that all the deaths of the family's names are on this rock, and like Felix is one, like that Felix Oliver is one, and it's like that made me actually kind of dig it because like this guy is so this guy's batshit crazy
For the most part.
Right. I'm just like, oh my God, like, okay. Like, I enjoyed it for the art of it. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed the last shot for the art of it, of like, this is the guy's craziness.
Yeah, I'd say for the most part. Did you feel that maybe there was any sort of undertone message that was, or overtone message in the movie about some class differences, like how rich people are afraid of poor people, or if somebody's the infatuation part of it, what they're willing to do to get what they want.
I feel like this is where the black and white in me comes into play, where I don't feel like the movie's telling me that. I feel like this guy is literally just a crazy person. And he picked out his victim, random victim A, and that's who he was going after. I mean, he got what he wanted, right? That's why I think this movie was. I don't think there's anything like, oh, they're rich, so I'm going to come after them because he looks like he came from a very poor rate stop. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I think this is just a crazy guy.
Yeah, I think that might be an easier answer because I don't know, and maybe I'll come across the opinion piece after we record this. But yeah, I wouldn't say there was any clues in the movie that would show that this
No.
was even part of a grand master plan. Like this was a day one thing. I think he was just you know what, the sister did make a point that when she was calling him a spider, that you're not a spider, you're more like a moth.
Oh,
And she called him a serf a few times, and just really kind of reflecting on just like you're the poor and you're not one of us, and just this person's desire to be included. The entire movie, it shows him how he doesn't how he's not involved, he doesn't have any friends, how he's just not included, he's not part of the club. And it's really his entire desire is to be a part of that. He wants to be in the party. He wants to be invited. And he, no matter how hard he's trying throughout this entire movie, he never does
right.
until
I
the
mean,
very end. Even at the very end, when he does it, he's all alone.
right. Yeah, we don't see any maids or butlers, anybody around, right? We don't know if he keeps them on the payroll, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he just has this house. He could live out the rest of his days as a hermit. I don't know. I just think that was her drunken, grieving BS comment to attack him to make him feel less than.
Yeah. Well, at the same
Uh,
part, I think it does kind of give a point. It's telling us something without telling us.
right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more to this movie than first watch, right? There's definitely YouTube clipping, right, to actually see what you missed. Um, but with that, let's go into the popcorn ratings, I
I
guess,
know what
right?
clip you're going to be watching on YouTube.
No. Do I want to give this a medium over a large? Right. So that's where I'm kind of struggling with it because I said in the beginning that I don't hate it and I don't like it, but I'm in the middle. I like the movie Up the Last Shot because everybody sees movies differently. I see this movie through my eyes as, oh, we are seeing a crazy person, kind of like the realization when you see Fight Club for the first time.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, I kind of dig what they're doing. I don't think this movie's a large though. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back and check it out again. I'm gonna say a solid medium. I enjoyed it enough. I probably will YouTube some clips. It was cool. Um, I think that if I was in film school, this is a movie that this is like the Donnie Darko. This is the American Psycho, right? This is that weird, obscure movie that nobody's not supposed to know about, but everybody should know about. And then hey, want to go to Dorsia? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's this movie for this generation. So it's good. It's not great. Medium for me. What do you think? What is your popcorn rating for Saltburn?
I'm really on there with you. Like as much as there's so many parts of this movie that I did enjoy, I think the storytelling was fantastic. I think the character development and the arcs were fantastic. I think the cinematography was gorgeous. This movie was shot beautifully. The costumes were all beautiful. Um, I think that, again, going back in reading about all of the little details, I'll share with you one that I was really impressed with, that I shared with before, was the story of the doppelganger. Around the dinner table, this is they even give us timestamp on this one at 44 minutes in. Carrie Mulligan's character was talking about a story of a doppelganger, about how, so and so's sister was in Italy and she saw a doppelganger, and then however so soon after, then she died. As she was telling that story, it cut to a shot of the sister kind of reacting to it, and in the window behind it, you saw Felix's doppelganger quickly walk by the window, foreshadowing his death.
Okay.
So it was like he was same look, same outfit that he was wearing, and then it cut to after. So little things like that. The toy that Oliver had played with as well was a representation of the family. That
Okay.
and him playing it and then him stopping it, there's a lot of symbolism in the movie. And again, I feel like, as you would said, as a student that was probably in this, you could probably a lot to dig into this and really, if Ryan was here right now, we'd be having a different conversation. But
Sorry.
yeah, there's a again, there's a lot to go into this movie. But at the same part, is it large bag worthy? I would recommend this movie to people, but it's one of those,
Who do you
like,
recommend it to? Like, I mean, you recommend it to a Ryan. You don't recommend this to an Ed,
yeah,
right?
certainly, yes, exactly, to the person who would appreciate it. And I do feel like maybe this is a better as a one-time watch because you, or maybe it two times at most, because you watch it the first time to get the twist, and then you watch it the second time to observe everything. But
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that's really, I don't know if there's much else, at least not for me. I could see where you're going with it's this generation's Donnie Darko. I understand what you mean by that. I don't know. I much as I enjoyed the movie, I feel like giving it a large is giving it too much.
Right. It's hard, right? Because you don't know because it is good, but is it Donnie Darko, American Psycho good? I mean, you and I can sit down and we can quote American Psycho all day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So is that because of nostalgia, or is it because the movie's that quotable, or is it because the movie's that good? Could we do that in this movie? I'm like, you and I will always probably remember the vampire scene. That's something that we're not going to get out of our head. Is that business
We didn't even
card?
talk about the bathtub scene at all.
What's the bathtub scene?
Him slurping up Felix's.
Oh yeah. He did do that, didn't he?
Yeah.
So okay, there you go. Okay, so the bathtub scene. So it's like, do those scenes equal the business card scene in American Psycho?
Well, no. The other part of it too is that something like Donnie Darko and American Psycho, there is um a, a very an obvious part of the movies where you are in a movie, where you're in nonfiction.
Sure.
I'm sorry, where you're in fiction completely. This movie feels more like a nonfiction movie,
Okay. Fair
right? Like
enough.
this feels like it's just like, oh, geez, like
I don't know, but did he though? But did because remember, because American Psycho, sorry to drag this on, but American Psycho, you think that you are in fiction where he shoots the gun once and the cop car explodes, and the helicopters are chasing after Patrick Bateman and all these craziness things are happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or Donnie
So him,
Darko when he
him
starts to see, obviously the whole airplane thing
right.
as well. There are
But him
parts.
dancing naked though.
It's just
Him
a
dancing naked.
celebration.
Is that though? Did it actually happen? That's one thing that they think this movie is clever about. Is that, I mean, like, is this a thing? Like,
I'm
did
not
this happen?
going to look in this movie and try to think of it as like, oh, well, was this somebody's, was it make believe the entire time? Was somebody was just thinking about it?
Okay,
Was this a dream or anything? It's
okay.
like, no, this was just like you said,
At face value.
a psycho person, and really just kind of going in a different type of modern day. I don't know, just a psycho movie, really, but. Nothing stood out as it to be completely fiction. It just seemed like it was still played into the rules of the real world,
Right.
even down to the butler. So
Yeah.
I I don't know. I wanna go medium just because I feel like I don't know, man.
This is a tough one for you, buddy.
It really is because I don't know. I really did enjoy this movie.
I mean,
A
like,
lot more than I
is
thought
it
I
a
would.
small? Is it a
No, it's
small?
most certainly not a small.
So it's definitely a medium or a large for you.
Yeah, we had done it before where it was like a medium with extra toppings and butter and all that other stuff, and it really is
Right.
good. Because again, it's just well acted. Um, yeah, I guess I'll have to go with that. I don't know, man.
Is
I feel
this?
like
I
I feel
mean,
like I want to be convinced to give it a large.
okay. How about this? Here's my question, and I keep on comparing it. And I'm sorry to be so blunt with it. Is this movie, because of the marks that it hits, is this movie Gen Z's American Psycho? Because if you think it is, then it's probably a large for you. Because this is what they're going to
I
mean,
would
because our American Psycho is our
say
American Psycho.
that. I feel like I don't. I feel like if this was a book, you know, like I don't know. I feel like this is a book. I feel like I'm watching a book
Sure, sure.
because of just how twisted the tale is.
Mm-hmm.
Where I maybe maybe it
What,
is just
what
because
was your
again you
gut?
you have like the popular kids, you have the unpopular kids, kind of just going around the story of the
I mean,
unpopular getting their day.
Oliver is Patrick Bateman, right? I mean, like he's a chameleon. He adapts. He sees his opportunity to strike. Like I don't know. I'm just seeing a lot of comparisons with that movie, so that's why I'm kind of curious. And I'm not trying to sway you either way. I'm trying to help you out.
No, but okay. How about this? I'll give it a meme only because I feel like its stronger points also weigh it down. I feel like this movie, because of those certain scenes that we both agree will be the ones that talked about in this movie, is is the one that it will shine the most. It's not
Okay.
it's not the overall story of like the twist ending or anything like that. It's going to be those scenes, the vampire scene, the bathtub scene. So when people hear Saltburn, they're not going to think, "Oh, is that the movie about that weird guy who takes over the family?" It's like, "Oh, wait, that's the movie with the guy doing
The
that thing."
vampire scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it maybe put itself into a corner because of that, and maybe that's what the issue is.
Okay.
Where if you had other movies that uh
But to
okay,
be fair
so
though, isn't that American Psycho though?
Yeah, well, at the same, yes, and I'm not going to give American Psycho a large bag either.
Oh, I thought you would. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
I
listen. I enjoyed that movie for the same reasons that you did, for sure. But at
Right.
the same part, it did have its flaws, and so did this movie.
Mm-hmm.
How about I'll compare the same part of like Call Me by Your Name, where
Oh, okay.
people will probably think of one scene in particular in that movie and not the entire build-up, being this romantic story about the a summer in the Italian countryside there. People might think of one scene over the other. um
Sure.
in does is that a bad thing for a movie to have one scene define your entire
I mean,
to have it
we
overshadow
reviewed
everything?
we reviewed a lot of movies that don't even have the scene to overshadow. I mean, we've reviewed a lot that don't have a scene.
Yeah, but at the same part, this movie, when the ending happened, I wasn't sitting there just going, "Whoa!" It was
Yeah,
it was just kind of like,
yeah,
"Oh, okay, that makes sense."
yeah, yeah. It makes sense. It
Whereas something like "How About Power of the Dog," where that ending happened, you're just like, "Oh, geez." I'm
yeah,
thinking about it more and more, like, "Oh, geez, okay, well, did he or didn't he? What was it else up?" Whereas it's just like, "Oh, all right,
right.
this guy's
You know what's
crazy."
great
I got
though is that
closure
you
at
and
the
I
end.
is that what's great is that you and I are doing this. Like right now, everybody's who's still listening probably to this episode. They're hearing us nerd out. I mean, so obviously, this movie has done something for me and you two nerd out for a few minutes here,
Yeah,
right?
at the same part, I am excited to see more from these actors. I'm excited to see more from this director, from a lot of her projects. Uh, I Margot Robbie produced this movie. She's one of the producers in this movie, by the way, too.
Oh, hmm.
Yeah, yeah, two thumbs up type of
Yeah,
thing. But
just not there yet. Just not perfect yet.
like if it wins an award or anything, yeah, I would even be like, okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense, all the parts to it. But yeah, again, 5-10 years down the road, that scene or which one, the bathtub or the vampire scene, is going to be the one that everyone remembers.
Can I ask you one more question before we close out the show?
Yeah,
We both raved of Power of the Dog, right?
yeah,
We both gave it a high rating and we gave it a large, right? How was this movie different for you?
you're right.
I'm just asking.
I don't. I feel that it's maybe because of how it highlighted the character. We got to see the start of the villain. The movie opens with the villain and then ends with the villain winning. Whereas in Power of the Dog, it doesn't so much do that. We gotta get to see, uh, I guess, a different perspective. It doesn't
Okay.
follow. It doesn't. You know what I mean? It's not following the villain so much as it's because also it's in that movie the kid. That wasn't his plan the entire time, right? It was his
Right.
plan kind of later on because of how he was treated. Whereas this, it seemed like it was a plot the entire time.
Yeah, Power of the Dog, I feel, followed people. This movie followed a psycho.
Yeah,
People are great. People do good things. People do bad things. Power of the Dog was that.
yeah.
Okay, so that's your difference then for you.
It is it just to plan out the story then? It's not the acting. It's not
No, it's not
any
the
technical part of the movies. It might just be overall story.
It could be, right? I mean, this is a story that like now that we know the twist ending, we have seen this movie, of course. So it's like,
This read like a Chad Kultgen novel. That's really what that was. Like an average
Sure.
American male, like The Lie or something like that, where it was
Right.
just kind of like he said, she said, and oh my God, did you see what they were wearing, kind of a thing. So maybe that's what it is, where it's a bit more of the socialite kind of story of it people, of it culture. And
Is he the Red Death? Is this the Mask of the Red Death? Is this a Poe thing? Right, we can go into that territory. All right. Look. I mean, like everybody who's continued to listen to this episode, Eric and I are nerding out on this one. I mean, this is something to check out. Just check it out if you're into something that is good, that looks good, but is weird, and you have to suspend your belief. Right.
I can see why everyone's talking about it.
Right. Check it out. We're not saying that it's large category. It's not going to be nominated for Movie Guys Film of the Year, but it's there. You know what I mean? So check it out.
Yeah.
Right? Check it out if you're into that kind of
Is
stuff.
this going to be the second look category?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Might give it a large bag a
could.
little bit later.
It could. I mean, let's see what the fans decide on that one. Right? I don't know if they're even going to care. They may tear us apart on this review.
Yeah, maybe. You're very right. But
I mean, I'm staying strong on my medium. It's good enough for me.
yeah, maybe I wanted more Psycho. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
You know, maybe if I was showing him killing the dad and the sister, then it's like, oh, okay, now this guy's really Psycho.
Yeah,
Don't
'cause
give me
this
half
guy
Psycho.
didn't-
Give me the full Psycho.
Yeah, technically, this guy's Jigsaw. He didn't kill anybody.
Yeah. So. Well, yeah,
Right.
he did. He killed Felix.
Well, I mean, Felix could not have drank in that bottle.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he did, and it was poisoned.
Right. You wanted the gore. You wanted him to actually kill. Yeah, I got you. Well, everybody, thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast at podbean.com. I did not know this episode was going to go this deep, but I'm glad it did. We haven't had a discussion like this in a while, so I hope you guys who are listening enjoyed this episode. But like I said, always, thank you so much for downloading. Check us out on every Thursday for a new episode. Eric, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be back next week for another awesome episode. Have a good night.
Okay. And you know my house where the main bedroom is the front of the house. Well, not the front of the, but it's facing the front yard.
Yeah.
RJ's picking up sticks. And all of a sudden I'm in the kitchen drinking coffee and I hear, and I can't make it up. I hear a screech, a squeal, if you will, kind of like your 1950s stereotype of a housewife seeing a mouse and going onto a stool. Like that kind of shriek.
A good old Kathy Ack, if
Right.
you will.
And she comes into the kitchen and her face is blood red. And I was like, what's going on? She goes, RJ just saw me naked. I said, no, he didn't. What are you talking about? She goes, I didn't have any bottoms on and I was listening to Taylor Swift. And I was and I was in my drawer kind of bent over, wiggling my bottom. And I look up and there's RJ staring at me with his handful of sticks. And I went, yeah, he did. And she was like, oh my God, I feel so. I was like, hey, he's single. He's pushing 70. You gave him a show. And it was free. It's fun.
Gina's the problem. It's her.
Right. And she's like, I just can't see him anymore this summer. He's gonna see me, he's gonna see my bottom. And I was like, no, are you going to change with the blinds closed?
There you go. It's the start of a cruel summer.
It's a cruel.
I dropped 2 Taylor's references there, bud.
Yeah. Well, I like the original Cruel Summer, though. The song I was just singing.
Yeah, sure.
The one that was the theme song of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Buddy, we are living in an era where the wave is coming back, and we're getting the nostalgia swing, and you hear those songs on the radio, you're like, oh, I know this song, and you're like, wait a minute, this is a different song using the song that I know.
Or we're at the time where we're watching the Super Bowl halftime show, and you confuse every single person that Usher's with besides Usher. You're like, is that Kanye? And it's like, no, that's will.i.am. It's like, oh, what happened to that guy? And it's like, is that CeeLo? What's CeeLo doing? It's like, no, that's Jermaine Dupri. What?
I knew it was Jermaine Dupri because CeeLo has been canceled.
He looks like CeeLo, though. Fat and bald.
He is, unfortunately, they're both very short, but Jermaine Dupri is like Smurf short. He's
like Danny DeVito
tiny, short. Yeah, he is a tiny, tiny human being, and he's looking real old. I didn't know that was will.i.am, and then I figured out the song. I was like, oh my God, I think that's will.i.am, and I was like, you know what, that makes sense. There ain't no other person in the world who would wear something that dumb.
Kanye
would not wear a plastic Tron type of thing on his head. Kanye is known for wearing garbage bags rather than it being something like that. Homeless chic is what Kanye is, whereas will.i.am is trying to be 2000 or 2008, but he's 2000 and late. I know my music.